Have you ever felt the uncertainty, the hopelessness, the desperation while experiencing a panic attack? Well, if you have, you are welcome here at the Lirio Blanco Show. I still remember the conversations I had with my mother. You see, she experienced the same symptoms of anxiety I was experiencing at the time. I say I was experiencing, but for sure, up to this day, anxiety still accompanies me everywhere I go. While I work, while I clean my house, while I cook, even while I dress myself every day before going to work. What is it exactly that I feel? Well, I feel my heart beating faster sometimes, breathing more quickly than normal, and most of the time, the terrible desire to finish a task as quickly as possible. You might think doing things quickly is a great achievement, but when one does things quickly, that leaves room for mistakes and sloppy results. Yes, yes, doing things quickly is highly valued in this mechanized society. But we have to control our impulses while working quickly. Otherwise, it is not as efficient as one might think. I hate weekends. Do you know why? Because I am not sure I'll finish the house cleaning chores that I expect myself to finish. Now, here is the thing. If I play the game of avoidance known as procrastination, that will surely make me feel miserable. Yes. Then I start asking myself, why do we clean our houses? Who cares? Then the first thought that comes to my mind is, what will other people think? As one good neighbor said to me some time ago, who are those other people? Where are they? Nowhere to be found. I always remember what my mom and distant family used to tell me. Oh, what are they going to say about you if they see you wearing that outfit? Won't they see how fat you are? And the list goes on. Now, as a grown up, I still ask myself those same silly questions. Why? Because I heard them from my outer world while I was growing up. While my brain and self-identity were taking shape. And now, regrettably, through years of repetition, I have internalized those now horrible questions. I am now completely wired like that. How terrible! It's almost like psychological cancer. Let me touch back on the subject of house chores. Let's face it, I am a loner. Why do I get anxious when I start to clean my house? No one comes to visit us, and trust me, we don't visit anybody in the midst of this pandemic. Less so than ever. Regardless, it still makes me feel terrible when I don't tackle my list of self-appointed chores. I try to do what I can, and eventually I feel better, but the anxiety remains. Now, one thing helps, and I imagine many of you already know what I am talking about already. Listening to music with my headsets helps tremendously. Time passes more quickly, and I think the subconscious takes over in some sort of automatic mode. So does the music tune out our anxiety? Look what happens while we walk, run, or jog. Most of the time, I see people wearing headsets while they run. Do they experience what I do? If I go for a walk without my headset, I experience panic attacks. No kidding! An extreme desire to return home takes over. But if I wear my headsets with the music, oh, what I personally consider the best band ever, Soundgarden, I can almost levitate while I walk. Well, figuratively speaking, of course. I don't have any other explanation other than that anxiety operates along a certain frequency which music can momentarily stall. How crazy, right? But after the music is over, our frenemy anxiety is still there. This is my theory. Our worry about what others will think of our mess is merely a rationalization. We are really blaming others for our own anxiety. The real question is, why is it so important for us to clean our home? But more importantly, why is it more difficult for some of us and easier for others to keep our homes clean? My friends, that's the reason I am doing this show, to find answers to the questions I repeatedly ask myself. Some might say God gives everyone a separate set of gifts. Some people are well organized. Well, if that is the case, I will have to simply say, good for them. That's not a question I should be asking anyway. My question is, after all, what causes my anxiety when I clean my house? There is always a reason, my friends. Yes, I came to that realization a few years back while attending one of my psychiatry sessions. I still remember what the refreshingly honest doctor said to me. No matter if I prescribe the entire pharmacy to you, while there is a hidden circumstance that causes your anxiety, that anxiety will remain. Then how can I get rid of it, I ask. Therapy, he said. Friends, therapy helps. Yes, it helps. It helps find solutions to daily problems and conflicts that cause pain. It is always healthy to hear what an open-minded person has to say about our problems. But therapy doesn't eradicate anxiety for good. I once read a doctor's statement that anxiety can also be the force behind great achievements, that there is good and bad anxiety. Well, that reminds me of the collective anxiety we experienced prior to taking a test, or in my own case, arriving in a new country. After all, as a society, we appear to experience another type of anxiety, the anxiety that makes us thrive, the one that is encrypted in our brain as a default mechanism of survival. But only we can decipher why this anxiety becomes deranged in certain periods and circumstances within our life. One thing for sure I can say, medications don't work for anxiety. Herbs, teas, and other so-called organic remedies, well, they just don't work. I have tried everything, trust me. What works? Again, folks, that's our question. What I do now is recognizing the trigger will eliminate it from your life. Then the anxiety that is the bad anxiety goes away. But get this, when another awful circumstance creeps into your life, a situation that you might not at first recognize, is it reasonable to suggest that anxiety never goes away for some people? Absolutely yes. For some, it never goes away. But wait, there is hope. I deeply believe Once one has experienced repetitive anxiety episodes, future episodes will be easier to handle. We have to be brave, accept those challenges. Let's put it in this way. When someone has appendicitis, the person suffers a tremendous amount of pain accompanied by inflammation and very high fever. But once the appendix, the source of the problem, has been removed, a period of healing brings about a state of complete wellness.